Hello, this is Charlie. I'm working on another signature for the album that I'm making for Scrap and Create. It is the Autumn's Greetings album that I've been working on, and it is featuring some graphic 45 collection called Autumn Greetings. I think I've said that twice. Huh? Oh well, it is what it is. Okay, let's start off right here in the center. We're going to have kind of a flap that's going up, going down. Then we're going to have two that open up this way, and then we're going to have the base here in the center with a pocket. So let me see what I've got going here if I remember what I'm doing. I'll make sure I inked this. I did. Okay. So this base page is measuring at 7 5/8 across by 7 7/8 in its height. I'm working on a side pocket, and that pocket without the embellishment here measures in at 2 inches. Now, if you're using a die, or if you're using a punch, or maybe you're using lace, or you're not using anything at all, the measurement is only for this piece. It does not include this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this tape removed. Come on. And I'm going to start down here at the corner and then lay it straight up. Now I took this out of my scraps and I centered this so that I could have these images here. I just think they're just adorable. So it was about yay wide, and then I just trimmed it to fit. And that's all I've done. So I'm going to glue that down. And I've inked everything. I'm hoping I've inked everything. When you have a lot of moving parts, you kind of forget some things. Okay, let's see here. I think they're just adorable. I love their little faces. All right, now I took one of the smaller cards out of the 8x8 collection, and I turned it over so you could do some journaling on this with regards to the photos or the items you might be placing in here. And I backed it on cardstock, so I'm just going to glue it in place. And put it up here, just off the corner a little bit. Well, let's make sure it's on there straight. I can see by looking at the lines it's not. There we go. Okay, so our base is complete. Now on the two side panels that I'm going to be putting on, again, I have a lot of moving parts, so I've got them kind of all clipped together. These are going to be the same size, both of them. I don't know if I wrote the measurements down. I didn't, did I? All right, so these are going to measure in at 6 inches by the 7 7/8, and then you're going to score at a half, and you're going to do 2 of them. And it's just going to come in here on the side And then I'm going to put on this one. All right, now I'm going to cover the inside. Now I kind of had a bit of a wonky moment when I was making this. I was going after a particular look. So this is off the 12 by 12 patterns. This was off the 12 by 12s. So I cut this so that there were two photo mats. And then I inked them, and then after I did all that, I got this inspiration that I thought I would pull this piece in all the way across, and I'm just going to do this. So for you, just cut to fit, and then in the middle, if you want, go ahead and run a strip so that you have two photo mats there. Or do what I had intended to do, just do it this way so that the orange ends up being the split. But now that I've written in there, I am going to have to cover it up. Just something different, so it's not the same old all the time. Now I did run tape on the back of this, if I can get it off. See if my picker can get in there. Okay, so I'm just going to come right straight across. And I just think it breaks up that pattern a little. So we're going to go and repeat that over here on this side. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the glue. This one. All right, so that, well, no, that is not the finish. I was going to put a couple, use some of the ephemera to make some simple little designs. Now, at this point, I could use this as a tuck, because if you put a photo here, you're going to cover them up, or I can leave them out. But I like the break in the design, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of glue on the top of the flower and bring it in here. And I'm just going to glue the tail, the stem on this. And then I'll do the same thing over here. I think I want to kind of make these match up here just a little bit. And just a little bit up here at the top. Okay. So now we've got a nice little tuck, and we have a tuck. Now see, the glue came down too far on this one. I'm going to break it up just a little bit. That's the problem with using glue. It spreads so quickly and easily. The only thing I can do is lift it and break it and let it dry. Okay, so there's your inside panel. Now these, the outside. This is off of the 12 by 12. Let me look at this real quick, because I want to make sure you've got the right no, these are 8 by 8s. This is 8 by 8. And I wanted to just kind of break the routine a little bit and let this be the front panel. And then the reverse side for this one, but then I wanted to create a pocket so that this would carry, the theme would kind of carry across a little bit, and then you've got the burgundy acting in the background. So let me get some tape on this because I neglected to tape this one. We have the most gentle rain falling today after sweltering heat last week. It was really nice. The lawns have needed it. Helps with for the firefighters with their job. We've had some pretty good rain. They had predicted that we would have fires clear into October, but I'm thinking they're going to revise that, and we may see some of that under control, because we've had some thunderstorms come through here that just packed a big wallop of water. So I'm kind of excited about that. Okay, so, oh, I'm sorry. Gosh, I'm just mumbling right here along. This pocket is at 1.5 inches without the scalloped edge. And then this piece, so we have a nice little pocket here on this side. And then this would make a great background for some photos. And you don't have to do much to it. It's got all the decorative elements all on one sheet. Okay, now here's where I'm going to get a little kind of crafty crazy on you. All right, so we're going to have a bottom flap, and we're going to have a top flap. Okay, I can get it in there. I can get it to stay. Well, for crying out loud, Charlie, come on. Boy, am I just being silly with this paper. Okay, I give up. Anyway, this is the intent. So your top flap is going to measure at 6 3/8 by 7 5/8. Your 7 5/8 is your width. And then your 6 3/8 is the height, and it's just the panel piece. It doesn't include the scalloped edge. And then you're going to score it at a 1/2 inch, and then you're going to score it at 5/8 of an inch. So we'll go ahead and get this put on. And you're going to bring it right up to that 1/2 inch score line. Push it over. Give her a good burnish. And then you got a nice gusset sitting right there. Now the bottom piece is 2 3/4 by your 7 5/8, and you're going to score it at a 1/2 and at 5/8 as well. Again, it does not include the decorative border. So we're going to come right up to that 1/2 inch score line. And just so that you're aware, when you're doing this, you're going to get a little bit of pushback because you've got some buildup going on here, but that's okay. You still need to just hold things firm and press it into place, and then you have another nice little gusset right there. Now I get to close it and show you what I'm after. This is how it's going to look. All right, now using the 8x8, the floral pattern, and then the reverse side of the floral pattern is going to go like this. Down here on the bottom, on the outside, you're going to make a small pocket. This is going to measure 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, 3/4 by 7 5/8. And it's going to get glued in right here. This is going to become our pocket for keeping this closed. Okay? Now, I glued on one of my brass elements. I assembled this all ahead of time because I wanted to give time for the glossy accents to dry on that. And we're also going to add this to the front, and I used the deer. This is the fox, this is the deer, and I also added it. Now the weight of that deer is going to help to keep this closed. So no magnet, just the weight of the deer. Now if you didn't get the brass elements because you bought your kit someplace else rather than Scrap and Create, you can use about anything that has a little bit of weight to it. You can glue it to the front of that and it will help keep it closed. And then that's it. Very gently could also be how you open it, but I would be very gentle. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get this bottom piece assembled. And then I used 1/8 of an inch tape because it's a small pocket, and using 1/4 inch tape would eat up a good chunk of the tuck that I want to create here. And it's just going to be right here along the bottom. Now this is a cutout of one of these. It's the bottom, and it was in my scrap. So if you get into your scraps, you should, if you've been cutting and trimming along with me, you should have this available. All right, so this piece on the outside is done. On the inside, I'm in my scraps, I found this brown striped piece, and then this is off the sticker sheet. This is simply going to decorate the bottom on the inside. Nothing fancy. We're not going to do anything with it. But I didn't want to just kind of leave it hanging there. I do not know why, but for some reason, even when I was building this, it was hard to see this. The seam I wanted. My fox is creating burnishing problems. All right, so that piece is now done. So let's go ahead and let's work on the outside up here. I just love this. I want some wallpaper. I keep thinking I need to repaint my craft room because I made a mess of it when I had my store in here. But now that I look at this, I would really love to be able to put in some warm colors with a nice, beautiful fall pattern like this. All right, now, out of the 12 by 12s, I've cut this piece out. Gonna put it on some cardstock. I've mounted it on some pop-ups, and it's gonna come and sit across the top like so. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this glued on. That's the problem with me putting on my pop-ups before. Makes it hard to burnish. And I did see a pencil mark here I want to erase. Okay, so let's take these off. And we're going to put it right up here. Am I even? No, I'm not even spaced at all. Come this way a little bit. There we go. And then I want to put this down here. And this is out of the 8 by 8. And I just simply left 2 of the cards. I didn't cut them apart. I scored down the center of them. And it gives you an opportunity here to do a little bit of journaling. Okay. Now, to create the item for the tuck, to keep everything closed, I took 2 of the cutouts from the 12 by 12s. This, I had several of this particular item, so I took 2 and I just simply turned the other one over and glued it on the back. So there's plenty of room here for some additional journaling and some storytelling. And then that's just going to go in here, and that's what's going to keep, whoops, as long as I don't pull on it. Stop it, Charlie. That's what's going to keep this thing closed. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish the inside. Now I went to my scraps, and this piece, which happens to be the leftover of that cutting, is going to come up here like so. But as you can see, it's short. Well, guess what? We're going to create a pocket right there. Now this is orange scrap, and it's going the reverse way, but some of the leaves and the pine cones, it doesn't matter. It's only the pumpkins that you notice. But I'm going to hide some of it by taking this beautiful chipboard piece, and I'm going to put it in here. I'm using some of the ribbon that I have threaded through, and then I am going to tuck it back behind this orange piece. So I've made a little bit of a mark here where I know I've got it centered, so that I'm 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches, I think is what it was. Yeah, 2 1/4 inches from each end. And I put tape. Give this a little bit of a tug. Now, before I go much farther, I want to glue this piece down so it's not flopping all over the place. And then that's going to go just like that. So let's go ahead and get this on. Now, I want to be able to see. I want this leaf to go up. I want to be able to see my rim here of the cardstock where it meets that scallop. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get this glued down. This ribbon is really pretty, but it's very fragile ribbon. It starts to unravel quite easily. Okay. this right there. All right, so the top part's done. The bottom, we have a nice tuck here. We've got a tuck here, and we've got 2 photo mats with a couple of tucks. I'm second guessing now, having done this. Oh. These are okay. This one's going to be okay, but this one's not. So I am off camera. I am going to work on fixing this. I don't know, I might have to come in and add a little bit of glue here at the top to keep that from lifting quite so much. You know, I can just do that right now. Just a little bit. Okay. Close her up. Close her up. Put the gate close in. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's get our tape on the back, and we can get it put in the album. And while I'm taping this, I did have somebody ask me if I do customs. And the answer is yes, but it depends upon the paper and your expectation. Make sure that I can match it, that I can meet it. I don't like working with certain papers. So if you do want me to do a custom, just reach out to me via email, give me some basics, and then we can carry on the discussion from there. All right, let's get this put in the book. And then we're going to have only one signature left to go. Now the challenge. Give this a good old burnish. Get that tape down, get the pockets. All right, there you go. All right, we've only got one signature left, so we'll be back to do that, and the album will be done. I'll see you then.